everybody. I'm reviewing a very uneasy topic. It's called exorcisms, and I want to apologize in advance if this is very uneasy for you to grasp, because some of these topics I talk about are very graphic in nature. Even there's no videos, but even just talking about it, it makes my skin crawl just so much. And I'm going to give a few examples just so you guys kind of understand how awful these things actually are. So the first one is a young girl named Kyung Jae Chung and her husband Jae Wo Chung. These two were missionaries who ran a Christian school in Bangladesh. The couple, along with an exorcist named Sung Soo Choi, they often traveled to Los Angeles for church meetings. But while in LA, they enlisted the help of another missionary. This missionary went to Glendale Cavalry Church. And they decided to perform an exorcism on Kyung Jae because they had reasonings that she was possessed by demons. And the reason they thought this was because she acted spiritually arrogant and disobeyed her husband often. These three men began the exorcism and in a condominium in Century City. Yeah. At first, it started with prayers and hymns, but after 2.5 hours, things escalated quick. First, they pinned her down and asked who she was, and by this time, it wasn't Kyung talking, it was the demon, and this demon's name was Gande Gande, which means legion. And things eventually got so bad that the demon started saying death threats to these three men. And over the next 4 hours, they pressed her stomach down and punched her before stomping on her chest until it caved in. They broke 16 ribs and she died from blunt force trauma. The exorcist Sung Chu got 4 years in prison, her husband got 2 years, and the deacon got 3 years with probation, while Kyung's 3 teenage daughters were left without a mother. So that's one shocking example that is pretty, what's the word? It's pretty graphic, and if you believe in that stuff, it may get on your nerves. I know it gets on my nerves a lot. But the example I just told you is, it happened in Japan, and I think that this girl wasn't even possessed really, but it's hard to tell often because people change, their personalities change, and not just because they're being possessed by demons, but maybe other things have happened that these three men didn't know about. But anything's possible really. So it's basically based on your beliefs and how religious you really are. The next one is this next one I hate so much, but I'm going to say it anyway. So it starts off with a very bizarre location. These amateur exorcists think that in order to exorcise a demon, they need to physically force it out, which means physically beat the person that is possessed. Even, and films are very bad for this because, they don't know when actual exorcism is unless they do their homework and study up on it. And an example of this is the murder of a 59-year-old Susan Clay Clark on February 1st, 2008 in Texas. Clark's husband, Jan Clark was performing an exorcism on his wife by wrapping her up in a blanket and holding her to the bathroom floor, where she suffocated to death. When the police got a tip from Jan's friends, they entered the house and found Susan's body wrapped in a blanket with a cross and a sword on her. Clark said he was trying to perform an exorcism when the demon entered his own body, leaving her to die and suffocate. Jan pleaded guilty and insanity in 2010, but was still given a life sentence. So very powerful stuff. Once again, believe it if you want to. I definitely believe in this stuff. People that pass on don't always go to the better place. They can end up becoming demons, if that's how it even works. This example is not a great one. I would not advise, if you ever do an exorcism, not to do this one. I advise against exorcism at all in the first place. Being as old as Susan was, she was very brittle. And I think if she was maybe younger, she could have survived this exorcism. Possibly, but it's very hard to tell because of what played out. Maybe if different things happened, maybe if this man had different techniques on exorcism, he could have possibly got rid of the demon without hurting his wife and not going to a life sentence. And that's basically it. Do you guys have any questions?